The machine must be air-fed only after checking that the oil tank plug, figure 50, is properly sealed. And the Seeger ring, figure 60, is in its seating. All components of the riveting tool must be cleaned with special detergents before they are mounted back. Remove the nail container, figure 33. Use a 19 mm wrench to unscrew the output connector, figure 29, and the nails baffle, figure 32. Then remove the container connector, figure 28. Use a 17 mm wrench to unscrew the connector, figure 69. Free the protection and then the silencer. Remove the balancer hook, figure 25. Use a 27 mm wrench to unscrew and remove the head carrying nozzle, figure 2. After that, remove the O-ring, figure 3. Use a 5 mm Allen wrench to remove the tank plug, figure 50, together with the hermetic washer, figure 49. Then empty the oil tank. Used oil must be disposed of in accordance with the International Regulation on Environmental Safety for Used Oil Discard. Use a 22 mm wrench to unscrew and remove the back connector, figure 27. Then check the wear of the inner O-ring, figure 26, and outer O-ring, figure 13, and if it's the case, replace them. Fasten a 22 mm socket wrench in a vise, then fit the hexagonal seat of the piston, figure 18, into the wrench. Use a 14 mm wrench to unscrew and remove the cone holding head assembly. Use a plastic tube and a rubber hammer to tap the front side of the group to make it exit from the rear side of the hydraulic cylinder, figure 24. Use a 32 mm wrench to release the front connector, figure 11, and an extractor to tap the rear side of the connector, figure 11, and to make it exit from the front side of the hydraulic cylinder. Remove from the front connector, figure 11, the O-ring, figure 14, and the corresponding pair back, figure 15. Then disassemble the outer O-rings, figure 14 and 13. Now extract the bell cell, figure 12, and the corresponding ring. Then remove the inner O-ring, figure 8. Warning: always replace the seals when overhauling the tool. Reassemble the front connector as follows. First, mount the inner O-ring. Then the ring, and the bell cell, taking care that the seal holding lip is upwards. Insert the O-rings figure 14 in their seatings. Assemble the pair back, figure 15, ensuring that the concave part is upwards, and subsequently the O-ring, figure 14, as indicated in the picture. Now turn the piece and insert the gasket, figure 13, in its place. Disassemble the pneumatic piston, figure 18, removing the O-ring, figure 23, then the bell cell, figure 16, and the anti-extrusion ring, figure 17. Use suitable pliers to remove the zigzag, figure 22. Then extract the bush, figure 21. Check the condition of the outer O-ring, figure 19, and inner O-ring, figure 20. Warning: always replace the O-rings when overhauling the tool. To ensure pneumatic reliability, before remounting the piston, check that the stem roughness is 0.2 Ra. Check the good condition of the bush seating. Grease the bush with high viscosity grease, figure 21. Then insert it into the piston, figure 18, using proper pliers. Insert the zigzag, figure 22, in its seating and fasten it well. Mount the O-ring, figure 23. Now insert the anti-extrusion ring, figure 17, then the bell cell, figure 18, ensuring that the seal holding lip is upwards. Fasten the cone holding head assembly in a vise and use a 18 mm wrench to disassemble the clamps holding cone, figure 4. Remove spring and clamps opener, figure 6 and 7, from the cone holding head assembly. Now extract the 3 clamps, figure 5, from the cone, figure 4. Then extract both O-rings, figure 8. Check the good conditions of the clamps holding cone. Check the wear of the clamps and, if necessary, clean or replace them. Then insert them in the relevant cone. As regards the clamps opener, check the wear of its surfaces and spring. Fasten the clamps opener in a vise, then insert both onto the cone holding head assembly. Mount the clamps holding cone onto the cone holding head assembly. Finally, assemble the O-rings. Warning: always replace the O-rings figure 8 when overrolling the tool. Check the expeller tube for good condition, ensure that it is not damaged, and check if it is well fastened. Also verify the good condition of the thread of the cone holder. Figure 9. Fasten the cone holding head assembly in a vise and use a 14 mm wrench to fasten the clamps holding cone. Mount the piston, figure 14, onto the front connector, figure 11, after greasing both to lubricate. Clamp the oil dynamic assembly in a vise. Apply Loctite number 270 on the cone holding head assembly. And secure it onto the oil dynamic assembly by means of a 14 mm wrench. Fasten the riveting tool in a vise and disassemble the cover, figure 84, using a special wrench supplied on request. Remove the bottom, figure 83. Use suitable pliers to remove the group consisting of pneumatic piston, stem and dampener, figure 79, 77 and 76. Keep the oil dynamic cylinder, figure 24, pressed upwards. Unscrew and remove the guide stem connector, figure 74, using a special wrench supplied on request. Now the oil dynamic cylinder is free from the tool body, figure 72. Check the O-ring of the bottom, figure 82, and replace it if necessary. Check the outer ring of the stem guide connector, figure 75, and replace the inner O-ring, figure 8. When disassembling the pneumatic piston, check the wear of the dampener, figure 76. Then remove the outer O-ring, figure 80, and the inner O-ring, figure 25. Before remounting the piston, check that the stem roughness, figure 77, is 0.2 Ra. Check that the stem screw, figure 82, is well fastened with Loctite number 270. Then insert the dampener, figure 76, with its raised part facing towards the piston. Now mount the outer and inner O-rings back in their seats. Warning: always replace the seal, figure 25, when overrolling the tool. Disassemble the seal, figure 36, and the balsail, figure 35, from the hydraulic cylinder. Warning: always replace the O-rings when overhauling the tool. Check that the cylinder inner surface is not scuffed and that its roughness is 0.2 Ra. Also verify that the thread is in good condition. Mount the balsail, figure 35, back in its seat, ensuring that the seal holding lip is upward. The same applies to the gasket, figure 36. Remove both O-rings, figure 37, from the tool body. Use a 2.5 mm wrench to release the screw, figure 48. Then extract the nut, figure 47, and the screw. Heat the valve body, figure 39, by means of a rubber hammer and extract it. Fasten the valve body in a vise and extract the pin, figure 38, and the lever for inlet opening, figure 43. Use special pliers to remove the push button, figure 44. Put a cloth on the vise and fasten it together with the valve body. By means of an extractor, make both balls and both valve pistons, figure 41 and 46, exit from the rear side of the valve body, taking care that the O-ring, figure 45, is inserted onto the extractor. Check the wear of the valve pistons, figure 41 and 46, and the corresponding O-rings, figure 40, 42 and 45. If necessary, replace damaged parts. Grease the piston, figure 41, and insert it into the valve body. Carry out the same operation for the other piston, figure 46. Insert the O-ring, figure 45, onto the piston, figure 46. Then mount the push button, figure 44. Fasten the valve body in a vise. Remount the lever for inlet opening, figure 43, taking care to insert it by the longer surface, as shown in the film. Then, using a pin for batten centering, fasten the lever for inlet opening by means of the pin, figure 38. Turn the valve body and, keeping it clamped in a vise, mount both bolts back in their seats. Insert a peg into the rear hole of the valve body and fasten it in a vise. Connect the air feed to the valve body as shown in the movie and feed with pressure of 6 to 7 bars. Act on the push button, figure 44, and on the lever for inlet opening, figure 43, to check for the correct operation. Use special pliers to remove the zigger, figure 65. Then insert an extractor, supplied on request, until exiting the valve group comprising of 3 casings, figure 54, 3 O-rings, figure 55, a cap, figure 51, a washer stopping spring, figure 52, a spacer, figure 53, a spring, figure 56, a coil, figure 57, and the spring guide plug, figure 64. When checking the coil, figure 55, remove the zigger ring, figure 62, using special pliers and pull the valve piston, figure 60, out with an extractor. Check the wear of the zigger seating and the condition of the seal, figure 58. Also verify that the coil is not damaged or scuffed. Replace all the damaged components. Check that the O-ring figure 61 floats on the piston and the O-ring figure 59 is not damaged. It's advisable to replace the O-rings figure 61 and 59 when overhauling the tool. Grease the piston with high viscosity grease, then insert it into the coil and block with zigger ring, figure 62. Check the wear of the spring guide plug, figure 64, of the O-rings, figure 63, and replace the damaged parts. Grease the coil and insert it into the spring guide plug together with the spring, figure 56. When mounting the valve assembly, use a special wrench supplied on request and proceed as follows. Insert the casing, figure 54, and the O-ring, figure 55, in alternate positions. The spacer, figure 53, from the side with the highest surface, and finally the washer, figure 52. Check the valve assembly housing for wear, then insert and fasten the cap, figure 51. Grease and push the valve group inside the body until end of stroke, and extract the only rear side of the special wrench so as to contain the valve components. Grease the coil group previously assembled with the spring guide plug and spring. Insert the old group into the tool body. Last, fasten with zigger ring, figure 65. Mount the valve body, figure 39, previously assembled, onto the tool body. Insert the screw and nut into their seats and fasten by means of a 2.5 mm wrench. mount the O-rings figure 37 after greasing their seats. Grease the oil dynamic cylinder, join it to the tool body, then fasten them in a vise. While keeping the oil dynamic cylinder pushed upwards, screw the steam guide connector figure 74 onto its seat by means of a special wrench supplied on request. Check that the tube is well fastened, figure 73, and the tool body sleeve is not scuffed. Grease the pneumatic piston as well as the tool body sleeve with high viscosity grease. Use a rubber hammer to insert the pneumatic piston into the tool body. Grease and insert the bottom figure 83 onto the tool body. Grease the tool body and close it by screwing the cover figure 84 using a special wrench supplied on request. Grease the oil dynamic group previously assembled as well as the cylinder, then mount the group. Insert the back connector, figure 27, and fasten it by means of a 22 mm wrench. Fasten the tool in a vise, then use a rubber hammer and a 32 mm wrench to insert the oil dynamic group and fasten it to its cylinder. Feed the tool with pressure of 6 to 7 bars. Perform a few cycles to verify the correct pneumatic functioning. Also keep the push button pressed down long enough to detect any possible leakage, especially in the cap area, figure 51. Disconnect the air feed. Use a 70 mm wrench to mount the silencer and its protection. Screw the oil container, figure 87, supplied on delivery, into the cap seat. While keeping the tool in a horizontal position, feed it with pressure of 6 to 7 bars. Push the push button and make the tool carry out some cycles until air bubbles inside the oil container, figure 87, stop coming out. This condition indicates that the topping up of the oil in the cylinder has been fully achieved. At this point, stop the air feed and, while keeping the tool in a horizontal position, unscrew and close up the container. Replace the hermetic washer, figure 49, and then close the cap, figure 50, with a torque equivalent to 5 Nm. Feed the tool. Push the push button and make the tool carry out some cycle to check the stroke, which should be about 25 mm. If it's not, repeat the oil filling procedures. Disconnect the air feed. Fasten the head carrying nozzle in the vise, disassemble the nozzle and check the thread of both. Check the wear of the O-ring, figure 3, then mount it on the head carrying and verify that the inside of this latter is in good condition. If necessary, clean it by a compressed air jet. Important: before mounting the head carrying nozzle, figure 2, on the cylinder, grease the cone holding head assembly, especially the seal, figure 8. Fasten carefully the head carrying nozzle onto the cylinder using a 27 mm wrench. Remove the ring nut figure 31 from the output connector figure 29. Then replace the O-ring figure 30. After that, reassemble the two pieces by using a 19 mm wrench. Mount the container connector, figure 28, and the output connector, figure 29. Fasten the latter by means of a 19 mm wrench. Insert the nails baffle, figure 32, and slightly press it until it clicks. This signals that the insertion has been correctly performed. Assemble the nails container, figure 33, and the corresponding air conveyor, figure 34. Mount the balancer hook, figure 25. Feed the tool with pressure of 6 to 7 bars. Insert a rivet of suitable size for the nozzle and perform a few cycles to check the correct functioning of the tool.